Hello everybody, just doing a quick update. As you can see, I got the rotating assembly assembled. So I got all my pistons in, I checked all the clearances on the rods and the mains, everything checked out beautifully. Perfect. Way to go, Summit Racing, with your products. These are their pistons. I'm not sponsoring them or anything, but I bought their products and you know what? It's not bad. Anyways, she goes up and down really nice. No resistance. There's no areas where it's binding or anything like that. So we got her together pretty good. Next step is to put the timing chain on, or the oil pump first, of course, and then the timing chain. I'm just turning this over here. I want to get her to top dead center. See, the key mark should be, the dot should be right at the top there. Ouch. Oh, sorry about my finger. That's about top dead center right there. Looks good. So I got the cam in. When I originally put the cam in, it seemed like it was binding a bit. I was trying to turn it, and I could not turn it with my fingers, and that's a big no-no. So I pulled it back out. I thought maybe there's a problem with the camshaft. Maybe it's out of alignment. Maybe it's bent. Maybe one of the journals are damaged, or maybe one of the journals are oversized. Well, I checked them with my caliper. Everything's a 2 1/4 inch, so it's all perfect. Then I went and got my old original L92 camshaft I originally had in this block, and I slid it in, and I had the same issue. So I pulled it back out, and I was thinking about, possibly one of the cam bearings are bad or something like that, or it's got a little nick in it or something. I wasn't sure. I was using that Lucas assembly lube on all the journals, and that lubricant is really, really, really sticky. It's almost like a glue. I have it on the mains and the rods. When I put it on the cam, I had a really hard time turning it with my fingers. So when I reinstalled the Brian Tooley Stage 2 cam, that's what I got in here now, which originally wouldn't turn. I needed a screwdriver and 2 bolts in there. I cleaned all the journals on the camshaft with WD-40, gave it a really, really good cleaning, and I re-lubricated them with WD-40, and there is still some of the Lucas oil on the cam bearings. So I slid her back in, and lo and behold, it turns no problem now. It's still got a little bit of resistance, but like hardly any, and that's just probably because I got the oil in there. Oops, I just pushed it right in. I don't have the back plate on, so it could come out. Anyways, it spins pretty easy. If I could turn it like that with my finger, she's good. That was a concern at first. I was thinking all kinds of things going through my head. Geez, do I got to ship this cam back to Summit Racing? Is it defective? Do I got to take the block back to the machine shop because of the cam bearings bad? Which would have been a big hassle because I got the bottom end together, and I'm not 100% sure, but depending on which cam bearing is bad, if it's one right in the middle and the back, you're gonna have a really hard time getting it out with the connecting rods and the crankshaft in there. But I seem to have solved the problem. There must have been a little bit of dirt or something on one of the journals. I cleaned it the best I can. I mean, I had lint-free cloth and everything, and I'm just thinking it was the Lucas oil. It's so thick that it was making the cam really hard to turn. Now that I sprayed it with WD-40, and it still has the Lucas oil in there, it spins no problem with my fingers. So I'm good with that. That won't be a problem. So the next step is, like I said, I'm gonna have to put the oil pump on. It's a high volume, high pressure pump. The L92 actually came with a high volume pump from the factory, and most people upgrade with a high pressure pump, so I got a high pressure, high volume pump. It's a Melling, I can't remember the number, I think it's a 296, I believe, the part number for that pump. It comes with a regular pressure spring or a higher pressure spring, and the oil pressure really is just a matter of when it's going to release the spring when the pressure gets to a certain level. So it's really, I think you're getting 18% more flow, and you're getting about 18% more oil pressure. One thing that with these motors, putting in the retrofit oil pans going into F-body cars or LS swaps going into any other car, usually the oil pan ends up being smaller than the factory pan. Now the lifters, I don't have the lifter trays on hand to show you, but when you put the lifter trays in, you consider those lifters are pumping up with oil and the lifter trays are getting filled up with oil. So when you're revving your engine at 6,000 RPMs, those lifter trays are filled up with oil. So you got about a liter of oil hanging up in there before it pours out over the top and starts pouring back into your block. A good idea would be to drill holes into the lifter trays near the bottom. So when oil starts accumulating inside those trays, it immediately starts pouring back into the block. So you don't have any delays. You're not losing a liter of oil hanging up on the top there, sitting on top of the lifter trays. Just a thought I'd mention it. Thanks for watching the video. I'm gonna have another one coming up pretty soon. I wanted to shoot assembling this, but I only have 2 hands, unfortunately, so I couldn't do it and hold the phone or the camera and assemble the motor, because this is precision and I didn't want to make any mistakes. Obviously, you make one mistake at this stage, it's going to bite you in the you-know-what in the end. Anyways, thanks for watching. Tune in for the next one. We'll be soon. Have a good night.